Well, hello, Sandman here, and today I'm going to talk about an interesting first person shooter, Titanfall 2. Okay, Respawn Entertainment was co-founded by Jason West and Vincent Pella, the same people who co-founded Infinity Ward, who's best known for the Call of Duty franchise. Yeah, so I was literally going to this game with zero knowledge on the Titanfall franchise. So basically, I was trying to be as objective as possible, seeing everything for the first time. So just from the title screen and the opening scene, you could tell that it's like this super action-packed, futuristic warfare type of thing with robots and whatever. And you know, not really that I'm a huge fan of the Maker franchise, but I was like really intrigued by everything that was going on and the sleek presentation of the menus with the background cinematics and everything. And the opening scene left me with like so much expectation for the actual fight scenes, because I did not know whether they were gonna be like that action packed, like you could do everything that was shown in the opening scene, or it was just pretty much your average cinematic. So when you finally get into the game, you're firstly greeted by a training sequence when this character known as Lastimosa, this veteran in the ranks, pretty much runs you through the basic mechanics of the game. Well, first thing that you see obviously is the beautiful scenery of the training level with I don't know how I can describe the water gravity is like making it go in reverse, just really cool and really pleasing to see to your eyes. But so it pretty much runs you through the basics, the jumping, the movement, the BSD if you're playing on keyboard and mouse, as well as the wall running and the double jumping. Yeah, which is like, well, it makes the movement experience with Titanfall so much better. But with your classic Call of Duty aim down the side shoot mechanics. Upon completion of the training routine or the gauntlet, so it's scored by Lastimosa, the player is encouraged to keep training on the gauntlet to get better and get used to the whole mechanics and everything. And then there's this leaderboard where these other members of the resistance with the times to beat, which added motivation anyway to play through the gauntlet and get better. At the end, I found at the end of my experience at the gauntlet, I kind of like was hungry to actually get battle experience now, because I felt I had acquired the skills needed to survive in a battle setting. On the topic of level design and gameplay, well, you can tell the Respawn devs really having fun with this one, because each level design forces you to use the mechanics of the game pretty much. It really forces you, but it's kind of organic. I started out getting confused on how to traverse certain elements of the map, but the more I played, the more it just became natural to me. Like wherever you see an opportunity to wall run or to double jump or to pretty much wall run, double jump, and in different manners depending on the size of the terrain or the walls that you have. And you could tell this is like a benefit of good level design in the end. It also made for some really engaging fights with the NPCs, the non-player characters, as well as the boss fights that you enter. Well, I'll get to that a bit later. But yeah, my notable two favorite maps. The first one was in this chapter called Cause and Effect. Pretty much you navigate between two different time periods of the same map. So you use that to like traverse it. Like maybe let's say in the future, uh, this door is locked or there's a fire, and then you have to switch back to the past to pass through that place where when there was no fire present. I'm sure you get the drift. So yeah, you use that mechanic to pretty much navigate your way through the map all the way to the end. My second favorite map was one where there was this literal construction site. So it's like an assembly plant for buildings that the IMC were doing. So you're actually using the robotics and are moving around the pieces of the building and putting it together. You're using that to move through the map to navigate your way from point A to point B, as well as fight your way through the actual scenes, which really made for like some interesting views, scenery, and also movement patterns. Yeah. On the topic of gameplay, it's also interesting to note that the Titan battles, or the Titan battles, were not as clunky or as slow as most mediums of entertainment like to explain these robot fights, like these slow-paced missiles and everything. These Respawn guys really tried to make it as entertaining as possible and made it like so action-packed and fast. Each Titan has a specific class that you get to learn about through the campaign. So facing every Titan feels fresh once you meet all 9 of the different classes. But yeah, so at each point during the campaign, the 6 to 7 hour campaign, it's not that long actually, yeah, you get to experience different Titans which push you to approach them in a different manner, in short. Another interesting thing to note is that the way to fight a Titan is not only through using a Titan. Note that the pilot can actually mount a Titan and either throw a grenade down the pilot's chamber or unplug an energy source that will really damage the Titan that you're fighting. So it brings for these like high risk reward moments where you have to approach the enemy Titan while your Titan is fighting it, because BT is like automatic, so you don't need like actual story of the game can be seen a little on the generic side. Like you play a lot of shooter campaigns which are like wartime focused. The story or the main overarching narrative is to like it's similar, to say the least. Not that it's bad or anything, but it just felt like they really innovate so much in that area. But its strong points, obviously, it's got some really good characters, likes of Lastimosa, Jack Cooper, the actual protagonist you use, as well as BT, his Titan. Provides some good narrative, good branching stories, good character development. You actually see how Cooper and BT create a form of a bond, to say the least, by the end of the campaign. I know it's pretty interesting to see, as well as some pretty good antagonists as well. Kuben Blisk, the main bad guy, although like I don't want to go too deep in the story, but yeah, the main bad guy who's like disclosed leader of the Apex Predators, the mercenary group. Yeah, he's like a typical war-written antagonist. It's good to see. There also comes this main moment during the campaign where you face this boss, or you have these boss battles. So basically, the boss battles are when you take on members of the Apex Predators. So it's under Cuban Blisk. So I think there were like 5 or 4, I can't remember, but yeah. So there's Dude Code Kane, there's Ash, yeah. just to name a few. So they make for these tense moments because as you're playing through the campaign, that's when you get to experience these different types of Titan classes. So the first time you come across Kane and his fireballs. I don't know if they're thermite fireballs. I stand to be corrected, but yeah, they do way more damage than your regular Titan attack because they burn through your shield. So you have to like find a way of engaging him without being so close to him, or you need to have like top-notch movement to avoid his projectiles.
You don't get to kill me either. Yeah, you earned this, eh? Listen.
Pick an appropriate class to take on the specific Titan you're facing. So it makes for these moments of like improving your game knowledge, to say. On the topic of the multiplayer, well, it seemed a little similar to your typical Call of Duty type multiplayer. You got the same formats: capture the flag, team deathmatch, etc. You also can create a class of your soldier. So yeah, you got these 6 base classes for the soldier you use, which have like these specific powers. A lot like the powers we see in Apex Legends now, where there's a guy with the zip line, there's a guy who can enter the void just like Raid. Yeah, guy with steams and adrenaline shots that make him way faster. Yeah, as well as pick your Titan class as well. So when you reach a certain benchmark in the actual match, you can call on a Titan, which will like land, and so you can pick the class of Titan that you wanna be able to call during the multiplayer matches.
So in conclusion, my thoughts on the game, I think I've already talked a lot about it. Just from a perspective of someone who played Apex before Titanfall, hence I talked a lot about Apex, but I really love the game. The only thing I didn't really like so much was the funny looking fonts that like when they're introducing a new chapter and that funny screen where they write. I didn't like the font they used or the presentation of that, but otherwise the game was really good. The gameplay amazing. They really gave me a fresh feel on just the whole war FPS genre, and if I was rate the game, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah.